Hello everyone, welcome to 648 Milestone Zero tutorial. In this tutorial, I will solely be focusing on um, Milestone Zero's PHP, HTML, and SQL components. I will not be talking about CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap. Those will be for second video that is soon to come. I decided to do so because there was a lot of components to this video already, and I wanted to mainly focus on how to do milestone zero in the first place. So for this tutorial, I want you to download NetBeans and connect to the remote server into your SFSWE remote server, and that is very easy to do. All you need to do is, after you download NetBeans, click New Project, click on PHP application from remote server. Next, fill all the description for your project. And then on this remote connection page, make sure to manage your remote connection. Your host name is sfswe.com. Your username would be your username that Mr. Sosnick has provided you, and then the passwords. So once you do and click OK and finish, you should be able to connect to your remote server. Now we will also be connecting to our remote server through our terminal here. If you're on Windows, you would most likely be using either Cygwin or PuTTY to get connected to the remote server. So the way you connect to our remote server is you SSH username sfsuswe.com, and then you put your password. After you do that and press enter, you should be taken into a page that looks like this. You can press clear and get rid of all that information here. If you do ls and list your directories, you should see two directories, mail.dir and public_html. Be sure to change your directory to public_html. We will be doing all our work inside this directory. If you list, you should see a bunch of files that I've created here and a directory called uploads. We will be going over each of these files and how they pertain to milestone zero. If you also go back to your NetBeans and look at the project you created, these files should look very similar. That is because it's directly connected to remote directory over here, remote server, and each of these files resemble these files in the terminal. If I make any changes in my NetBeans and press Command S to save or Control S to save, they will be saved into the remote server and be resembled accordingly. So what is the goal of milestone zero? The goal of milestone zero is to get you familiar with some of the basic fundamental tools that you will be needing to build this project for our class. Hence, we will be going over PHP, SQL, and HTML one by one to understand how each of them work. And to do this, we have a special project that we're supposed to do. The goal of this project is to make a website that lets you upload a picture. It is very simple, and then also lets you view the picture afterwards. So how do we upload? How do we view? And what should be done in between these two steps? I will be discussing all of them. So while uploading, one of the things that was required was you upload an image into 3 different sizes. So let's say I have a really big file. When we upload it, it should be uploaded as the original size, a medium size, and a small size picture. This allows the user to retrieve a small size picture later on very easily. And the whole purpose of it is if you want to download a thumbnail or a smaller version of a picture, you do not have to download that large picture first and resize it. That would just be wasting resources. Alright, so let's get started on with our project here. Before we get started, I will give you a simple demo of what the website should look like. So here is our webpage that we'll be building. sfswe.com/USP. If you press enter, you will be taken into this page that allows you to either upload or view an album. So this would be our starting point. And if you click on upload, the page gives you several options of uploading an image, or you can just click on choose file and then upload the image. It has also the link of album, which allows you to view all the images you have uploaded so far in different sizes. So if you click on it, there are some of the images that I have uploaded, and you can see there's the GitHub shot, the JPEG, the image that I uploaded. Is available in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and the original size, which is much larger. So let's get started. The first thing I will be doing is going over SQL. And this is important because it talks about tables and how these images are stored. If you go to your shell, you should see all these files there and a directory called uploads. This is the directory where we will be uploading our images. If you change directory to uploads and go inside of it, you should see medium, original, and small, 3 different directories. So if you change directory to medium, you should see all the medium images that I have uploaded so far. Now, these are just directories. This has nothing to do with SQL so far. These will be the directories that we will be storing as paths in our SQL table. So a medium image would point to a medium image path. So it would contain this directory as the name, and then the name of the image. So let's get started with creating a table. To log into your MySQL, use the MySQL command -u, your username, and -p. Enter your password, and you should be taken into a page that looks like this. For this project, we will be using our database student_username. So to change your database, I say use student, your username. Should tell you that the database has been changed. Now you can see all the tables that I've created so far. You should see that I have an image table inside this database. Now I've already created this image, and the image file contains several fields, this table, and I will show you what these fields are. So to create this image table, I ran the SQL command here that I saved. So the first one is use student_usb. So it returned the database that I'm using and allows me to create a table in it. And then I use create table function. So the create table function basically creates a table, and here I'm calling my table image. And then the different columns in the tables are ID column, which is an integer type, and it auto increments. So I will not be solely responsible for changing the ID or entering the ID. The ID will automatically increment. So it's the job of SQL itself to maintain the ID column. The second is the file name column, which contains the name of the file we're uploading. And it's unique, so it cannot have 2 files with the same name. The third column is description, which is a text. The fourth column is original image, which is the path for that image, and it's a varchar. And if you keep continuing, you should see medium image varchar and small image varchar. So by typing this and pressing enter on my SQL here, I was able to create this image table. And now this image table, I have entered several datas. So if I select start from image, you should see all the files that I've uploaded. It kind of looks clunky because my screen isn't that big, but you should get an idea of what it should look like. If you want to experiment with that, try putting some smaller file names and see if it makes more sense to you. Anyways, this is the whole thing on MySQL. We created a table, and that's it. We don't need to come back to it now. All we need to do is connect to this table through our PHP to enter or retrieve the information that's contained in the image table. So enough of SQL over here. Now let's move on to some basic HTML. So if you go to our home directory here, the first file that you will run into is index.php. This is a very simple HTML file that contains the two HTML tags, the doc tab HTML, which tells the page to render it as an HTML page, the title of the page, image upload web page, and then the two links called upload and album, which points to upload.php and album.php in the same directory. So if you click on them, it should take you to those files. And we will be starting with upload.php. So this is our file over here, upload.php. And if you go to our Chrome and go to upload.php, you should see a simple interface here that allows you to choose a file, upload an image, and the description, which allows you to type in a description. There's a lot of things going on in here, so let me break it down step by step. First of all, there is an if-else statement in this page. There's an if statement and there's an else statement. So whenever we run the page, it will either run this part of the code here or this part of the code. And that depends on if you have submitted something. So if a user submits something and gets redirected to this page, then the post submit would be set and this part of the page would run. If nothing was submitted and this was the first time the user was going onto the page, this is the part that would run. And this makes sense when we go into this page and click upload, is the HTML part that you see. So this is the code that actually renders that interface. So let's talk about this interface over here. So the interface consists of a form tag that have different components of it. So the form allows you to type in or submit some kind of information to the server. Now this form takes in the information from the user and sends it to upload.php page, which is the same page we are. And the method it uses to do that is using post. And this makes sense because if something was submitted onto the page and the page reloads, then this first part of the code gets run, and then the submitted information would get processed. Let's talk about some of the inputs that we have here. So one of the first inputs is the file, and the name is file to upload. So this allows you to click on that button and then upload a file. Well, technically we're not uploading, we're just giving the path of the file to this form over here so you can send it to the processing. The next button is the upload image button. When you click it, everything gets submitted. That's why the type is submit. And the last thing is description. So the label description allows you to put this text over here. And then the input type text allows you to come up with this little text box here to allow you to type anything. Now, after we have all this information and we click submit, our image and description needs to get processed. So that's taken care by this part here. So for this project, we're including model.php. So most of you will not be working for the model part and would be working for this view part and control part over here. Hence, this is not that important to know right now, but I will still be going over it to show you how exactly it is working. These functions that I've written here are very rudimentary, so they will not be something I will be doing in our actual project. I made it as simple as possible so that it's easier to explain in this video. So once we get to this processing, I call the function upload image that uploads the image and then returns something into this upload variable. We do not know what that return is yet. We will be finding it out soon. And if that upload is successful, then we update our image table with all the information about regarding that image. The var dump upload here shows you all the information contained in that upload variable. So if the upload variable is an array, it will display all the components of that array onto the page. And this is just for debugging purposes right now. We will be deleting this and adding a different piece of code here. So let's see how it works. So I go, choose file, call it, so let's choose a JPEG. I can enter in information, hello, the description. If I click on upload, you see this image was successfully uploaded, this information being displayed. That's because of the var dump upload button. The upload variable contains all of this information. Now it may seem a little hard to read here, so if you go view page source, you can actually see it in a formatted. So it was an array, which 0th element was Boolean true, and the first element was a string. Image was successfully uploaded. Now this all comes from that function upload image. So let's go back and look at that upload image function, which is in the model.php. The upload image function returns array of Boolean if the file was successful and string of the error message. So true or false if the successful was true or not, and the message. In that case, we saw successful, so that was a correct message. But if the first part was false, then there should be some kind of false message or error message on the second element of the array. Now, these are the code from the tutorials that was posted on the iLearn, and I want you to actually go over them first and then come back to this. So here we're specifying our target directory where we want to upload our file, the image, the target file, so give it the name, concatenate with the target directory, and the image file type. So .png, .gif, or .jpeg. So these are all the checks that we're doing to make sure the file type is correct. And if you look at the comments, I will be posting all of this. So if you look at the comments here, they should make sense to you. And after all this is done and everything was okay, we finally upload the file that was sent to us. Now, one of the most important thing here is the $_files variable. It's a global variable and stays there as long as you don't post another file. So this allows the function here to know what file you had entered into that page over there. But usually it's a good idea to pass these variables through the function and then process them. But for the simplicity, I didn't do that for this tutorial. So if everything was fine with the file, we finally go into this part of the code here and then upload the file inside this if statement, which returns a Boolean. And then file would be uploaded at this point. If any of this does not make sense, don't worry too much about it, because you can always ask me or look help for the internet, or you probably won't be working with these anyways, since I will be handling most of the backend over here. After that is done, we go and resize all the files into medium and small sizes. So we get the original height of the image, then we get the medium width and small width, medium height and small height of the image, it's 80% and 30%. And then if you follow the tutorials, you should be able to get the links to these also. So resampling an image. Copying that resampled image into the medium and small image, and then finally saving that image as a JPEG file for the medium and small. We do not need to save the original one because that has already been uploaded. And then we finally destroy the memory for the medium and small that was temporarily being held. Now if you look carefully at the directories where these files are saved, you should see that the original file was saved under upload/original. The medium files are saved under upload/medium, and the small ones upload/small. In the case where you are making a bigger program, you need to be more careful on these directory names. Right now, I know where these files are, so I do not need to put any relative path. I have just used uploads as small, but this could be in any directory, and if it's a relative path, it wouldn't make sense if uploads directory is not in that directory of the file you're working with. So it will be important later in the future to include a base URL for the directory, but that's for the future, and I will be talking about that in the upcoming future videos. So basically, the point of this model.php, all you need to know is if you write this upload image, if you call this, whatever file you had uploaded gets uploaded. That's all you need to know. The rest, I will handle it here. So let's do a small recap. So if set post submit, so if something was submitted through this method post, then we include the model.php. And then we run the upload image function that uploads our image into the small, medium, original 3 directories by the recording size. The upload variable then gets a return value of true or false if the success was true or false. If it is successful, then we run the other function of update image table because we want to make sure that image table gets updated. Now this one contains connecting to database that we created, the table image. So let's go and review the code for update image table. So the update image table contains the code to update our or insert several values into our image table that we created. This is done by creating a DB or PDO object. So PDO is an object in PHP that allows you to connect to your MySQL. So you can see that my username and password for MySQL here, and using this constructor, you can create a new DB or PDO object. So my DB variable is new PDO, my SQL host is sfswe.com, the database name is student underscore ayushb, my username is ayushb for the database, and then my password for the database is here. After the database connection is set, we go and set all these attributes and set names UTF-8. These are mainly for security reasons and error handling, so don't worry about it too much right now, but make sure to put those in there. And in the future, also putting some exception handling in here is also a good idea, but that would be for the future videos. After the database connection is set, we go ahead and prepare our SQL statement to insert into that table. So our prepare statement would be insert into the image, that's the image table, file name, description, original image, medium image, and small image. These are the values of the fields that we want to insert to the columns. And the values would be file name, description, original image, medium image, and small image. So this just prepares a statement. This would be same for you too. Now, after the statement is set, we execute it with the proper variables. So execute, and inside the array, we give these values here, file name, description, original image, medium image, and small image, an actual value to be uploaded. So it contains the name of the original file, the description, as this is a description, the uploaded, the path for the original file, medium file, and then the small file. And it gets executed, and the table gets inserted with these values. So if you look right now, the description is called this is a description. Let's change this to the actual description we will be entering from the web page. So if you go to upload.php, you see that the description comes in from here, whose name and value is description. So what I can do is I can pass in that value here, into my function update image table, and then we can handle it. So if you go to my model, we can actually put a variable called description. So this will be the description coming in from the upload page. And then instead of this is a description, we would say description. And if I run it, save everything, and if I run it, it should work if I did everything correctly. Let's check. Missing argument 1 for update image table. Oh, I didn't save it. So if it's black, that means it's not saved yet. So make sure to save all the files. Something is wrong here. What does it say? Unexpected big bracket. Yeah, it shouldn't be there. There we go. Save it, refresh it, it should work. Okay. One thing to know is how to debug your code too, so you should know what problems occurring. Let's try to upload. I'm running out of all the images here. Um, okay, image was successfully uploaded. And this should have uploaded our image with the hello description. So we can go and check if that worked. Hello. You see that? This description did get added. All right, perfect. Now I'm going to actually remove all the junk here in this table. So delete from table. Delete from image. Okay, so everything has been deleted. And I'm also going to remove all my files. Okay, this was just a step to show how I had created these directories so they have full permissions. Now let's go ahead and look at our viewing part. So album. So this direct file, actually the page doesn't display anything. So let's work on it. It's not currently displaying anything because there is nothing to display. We have nothing in our database table and no images. So the album.php actually includes the model.php and gets the images into the images variable. And then once we get the images into the images variable, we just iterate through it and we echo the image file name. Now we also have description, so we can display the description. Image description. You can call it description. And it displays the image and then the 3 links for the images. Image small image, image medium image, image original image. Now all these keys are contained in this image variable. Now you may be wondering, okay, where did this image variable come from in the first place? Well, it came from the getImages function that I wrote on our model. So getImages returns an array of images from the database. Now our database contains all the path for the images, the description, and also the image name. So I connect to the database using my PDO object. And then after that, I am able to do a query, select star from image, which selects all the elements from that table. And then I fetch all of it and store it in the results table. So all the rows get stored into the results array. So this will have, it's like a 2-dimensional array now. So the first dimension being all the rows, and then the second dimension being all the columns in that row. So if I had like 5 images, so each row would be an array of 0. The first element would be the first row, second row, and the second dimension would be the columns. That's where this comes from. For each images as image, so for each row, we look at the file name for that row, description for that row, small image, the actual displaying of the image, and then the 3 links to the small, medium, and original images. So if we save this, make sure everything is saved, and if we go to our album, oh, there's nothing because we need to still upload. Let's start with celestia.jpg. Let's call this is a cool space picture. If you click on upload image, it tells you upload was successful. If you go back to the album page, you should see celestia.jpg description. This is a cool space picture, and you can view the small size, the original size, and the medium size. All right, so that's it. Let's fix something before we stop the tutorial. Now, when we uploaded, now if I say this is a color version, and if I press upload image, now this is taking me to this var dump place. I don't want this debugging to be shown. So let's fix that before we do anything else. So that's our upload.php file. So once we have our image table updated, then we can redirect back to this page. So we can say header location upload.php, or we can go to our album.php file. Anything you want to do. So depends on where you want to go. Let's say we want to go to our album.php file from here. So every time we upload a picture, it should take us to that album.php. Let's check if it works. Choose file. Paint1.jpg. Painters. Upload. There we go. Now it directly takes us to the album.php file. Thing from the database. Now, you may want to change the ordering of how this is displayed. You want to display it in a reverse order from the database. All that can be changed inside of the view class here. So you don't need to change anything in the model. In the view itself for the album, where you're displaying the images, I'm pretty sure there was a tutorial on Codecademy to iterate an array in a reverse manner. If you do that, all the files should get iterated in a reverse way. If you don't want to go to album.php, and if you actually want to, when I clicked on choose file and upload image, come back to the same page with a message of if the image was uploaded or not. That also can be done with this special variable called get variable. Let me show you how that's done. So instead of redirecting, what we can do is we can actually no quotes. There we go. Else we want it to be fail. So we still want to go to upload.php file, but with this message of success and fail. And we will display this message in the very beginning of the file. So we can add a little bit of PHP here. And we can say if is set message. So instead of post variable, now we're using the get variable. Okay. There we go. That should work fine. Okay, image was not successfully uploaded. Let's try that again. Not successfully uploaded. We put Wonder Woman. Upload. Image was successfully capital S. God damn it, small s. You can never put capital letters. So here's the finished get message. If get message success, we echo image was successfully uploaded. Else we put image was not successfully uploaded. So if we go here, choose a file. Let's choose Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman black and white. Upload image. Image was successfully uploaded. If you choose something like an HTML file and try to upload it, image was not successfully uploaded. Now if you go back to our page and album, you should see the Wonder Woman images that we uploaded. Now let's make it so that the images are reversed. Album.php for images as image, so we can say array reverse images as image. So now this should display the most recent one, the first. We go and refresh. We see Wonder Woman has moved to the top, and the rest are on the bottom over here. Alright, so that also have a nav bar on all the pages. So for nav bar, if you want to include it on every page, it's very simple. Let's consider this upload an album to be our nav bar now. So all you need to do is basically go to each file, the HTML or PHP file, and you say include and index.php. You can make a navbar.php, and there we go. And let's do that for upload page 2. And then now if we go and view our page, upload contains both the upload and album, so I can go in any time. Let's go to upload, choose file, images, let's put GitHub shot, image was successfully uploaded, go back to album, you should see our paint over there, small, original, medium. Alright, so I think this concludes my first tutorial here. I'm going to send all these files to you guys. Take a look at it and let me know if you have any questions. And in the next video, I will be doing some bootstrap and making this a little bit prettier. Alright, thank you.